It begins like a whisper in the corridors of Parliament, but behind that whisper hides something far darker. A politician accused of secret ties to a suspended police general, and a trail of murders, dockets, and power games that leads straight to the top of South Africa's law enforcement. Tonight, we expose the chain of influence connecting Julius Malema, Shadrack Sibiya, and a web that stretches deep into the criminal underworld. In this episode of Border Files, we uncover what the mainstream media won't tell you: how one of South Africa's most controversial politicians ended up entangled in a labyrinth of cops, syndicates, and political assassinations. Stay until the end, because what's happening here could reshape the balance of power inside the South African Police Service and beyond. Let's rewind. October 21st, 2025, Parliament, Cape Town. EFF leader Julius Malema sits before the ad hoc committee investigating explosive claims about South Africa's police leadership. On the other side, a storm of allegations that left General Shadrack Sibiya, the suspended Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection, withdrew key case dockets from KwaZulu-Natal's Political Killings Task Force, allegedly to halt investigations into high-profile suspects. At first glance, it looks like another bureaucratic scandal. But inside that meeting, the walls trembled, because Malema himself admitted something no one expected. "I've got General Sibiya's number. I call him whenever I have policing issues." Just like that, a line was drawn, a direct link between one of the country's most polarizing political figures and one of its most controversial police generals. But that's not where the story ends. That's where it begins. According to Left General Nlana Mkhwanazi, head of the SAPS in KwaZulu-Natal, Sibiya wasn't just moving files, he was orchestrating silence. The claim? That Sibiya pulled critical dockets, including cases tied to political killings, away from provincial investigators to protect powerful figures. Now, witness testimony adds an even more disturbing layer. Before the Madlanga Commission, a detective known only as Witness A revealed what could be a missing piece of the puzzle. He recalled a conversation with Major General Richard Shibiri, SAPS head of organized crime, and in that conversation, the names came up. A murder suspect, a mining group, a businessman in Sandton known as Z Nhumla, and finally, Julius Malema. The chain, according to Witness A, looked like this: Molefe to Z Nhumla to Malema to Sibiya. A network stretching from criminal suspects in mining to political elites to the highest levels of law enforcement. When Shibiri allegedly said, "You should be aware that this is how the chain goes," it wasn't just a warning, it was a map. And yet, Malema's defense is crystal clear. He admits to calling Sibiya, but insists there's no friendship, no alliance, just communication. "I will call him on matters of the police, I can't deny that. But to stretch it to comradeship or friendship, none of us can claim that." Simple words, but what they reveal and what they don't may hold the key to South Africa's most shadowed power dynamic. Because this is not just about two men, it's about who controls the truth inside South Africa's police. When generals talk to politicians behind closed doors, when case dockets vanish from provincial safes, and when witnesses whisper of mining interests and murders in the same breath, that's not random, that's infrastructure. And here's what few are noticing. Each name in this web, from Sibiya to Nhumla to Malema, is linked to territory, influence, and money. And each move they make happens in the shadow of a collapsing public trust in South Africa's security institutions. So ask not if Malema and Sibiya are friends. Ask what their conversations could shape, and who stands to gain or disappear from what those calls set in motion. Because every signal, every favor, every phone call leaves a footprint. What if this is not about corruption, but about control? Control of who gets investigated, control of which truths reach the public, control of power itself. The Madlanga Commission's findings could decide more than Sibiya's fate. They could reveal the architecture of influence connecting political power, criminal enterprise, and the very people sworn to enforce the law. And here's the terrifying part. Every indication suggests this chain, Molefi, Inghumla, Malema, and Sibiya, may not be unique. It may be the template of a deeper national system where political protection, police power, and organized crime overlap in one seamless network. So remember this moment, because if the next revelations confirm what insiders are whispering, South Africa won't just be facing another scandal. It'll be staring straight into the nucleus of its own deep state. If this story stirs something inside you, if you sense this isn't coincidence, subscribe now to Border Files and turn on notifications. Because what we're uncovering next could expose an even darker alliance, one that stretches beyond borders, beyond politics, and deep into the machinery of power itself. This is Border Files, where the truth crosses every line.